Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? Oh yeah, man. I finally got the name together for this, man. You feel me? Finally got the name for this shit. I kind of had it backwards. I kind of had it backwards. The name for this would be M3 Records Time Conquers. You feel me? M3 Records Time Conquers. Yeah, that's the name. Okay. Now that we've done that, welcome my M3 Record Time Conquering family. We're the M3 Records Time Conquers, the music motivation Time Conquers, ministry Time Conquers. Hey, what's up, everybody, man? Everybody on Instagram, everybody on YouTube, man. What's poppin'? You feel me? This your boy African Elvis. You feel me? Call me Tom Nosiki. You feel me? God's time. You feel me? And I'm your prophet today. I'm your man of God. I'm your pastor, your prophet. I'm a prophet. You know what I'm saying? I'm your man of God today. And welcome to M3 Records. And this is the Time Conquering Teachings. The teaching of time conquering, of conquering time. Understand? So, you know what I'm saying? Not conquering time, it's conquering time, conquering in time. You know what I'm saying? You conquering in time. You feel me? So today, and like I said, everybody on YouTube, man, this on Instagram, this will be a 15-minute video. You feel me? If you like this message, and if you want to learn more, and you want to learn more and follow more with the teaching, you feel me? Follow me on YouTube. You feel me? Follow me on YouTube. You feel me? You want to learn more of my teaching? Follow me on YouTube. You feel me? The link will be in my bio. You know what I'm saying? By the time I get a couple on my out, you feel me? I'll put a link to it and I give everybody a link to it. You feel me? So, or you could just type, of M3 Record Time Conquerors. You feel me? On YouTube. And that's it. Just type M3 Record Time Conquerors with an S. Conquerors, plural with an S. So welcome. So today we're going to Genesis 9. Now we started the book of Genesis. You know what I'm saying? The first book of Genesis. And we've talked about creation all the way to now. This is when God created the world, when God first ended the world. Killed everybody. He didn't end time. He ended life on earth. You feel me? He killed everybody and saved Noah and then replenished life. To replenish life. You feel me? See, those are the three different times. Yeah, the time when God created and time when God ended, destroyed life on earth, the whole earth. And then he destroyed a certain city, Sodom and Gomorrah, the two cities, Sodom and Gomorrah, and some more cities around the world. But like I said, bro, you will see how God destroyed every kingdom with Israel. You feel me? With the Israelites. You feel me? With Israel. So, and Jerusalem, the people of Israel, you know what I'm saying? Jerusalem and and which is God's covenant to Noah, and then the rainbow. You feel me? Like, this is the subject I've been telling y'all, I've been waiting to talk about. You feel me? The purpose of the rainbow. You feel me? Why you see that rainbow that you see in the sky. You feel me? You feel me? You about to understand what is the purpose of that rainbow. You feel me? That beautiful color rainbow you see in the sky. By the time I get done, and if you don't have enough time, I might make this video 20 minutes, but if you don't have enough time, you follow me on YouTube and catch up. Understand? So, beginning, go to Genesis 9. I would like to use the King James Version, but for your understand, we're going to use the NIV version that breaks it down a little bit simpler. Understand? Now let's go.
Genesis 9. Then God blessed Noah and his sons, saying to them, Be fruitful and increase in number and fill the earth. The fear and dread of you will fall on all the beasts of the earth and all the birds in the sky, on every creature that moves along the ground, and on all the fish in the sea. They are given into your hands.
See, that's God started covenant. When God say no, every man of God has a covenant. God gives a man of God every person he calls a covenant. See, even all of us, we all have a covenant with God. You understand? We have a covenant of forgiveness, that he will forgive our sins. You feel me? We have a covenant that God will be with us, which is Emmanuel. So that's why I tell you, Emmanuel. So you see what it starts with? God's covenant with Noah. God's covenant with Noah. Do you understand me? Now let's say, what is a covenant? People might want to say, what is a covenant? So let us see Webster's or Google's definition of covenant. Understand? Because I know a lot of this pastors will try to come up with their own theological meaning about covenant. You feel me? What covenant means to try to tell you that I'm lying. Now let's get a agreements. You feel me? Agreed by lease, a deed, or other legal covenant. Okay. They said that is a covenant. A covenant is an agreement, a contract, a compact, a treaty. Understand? A pact, an accord, a deal, a bargain. Understand? A settlement, a conduct, a protocol, entity, agreement, arrangement, understandings. Oh man, thank you, Goose. See, a covenant is an understanding. You should understand the purpose of Emmanuel, that God is with you. You should understand the purpose of God's covenants in your life. You have to understand that every individual has a covenant with God. It is a pledge. And you see my favorite right here. It is a promise. You see it right here. It is a promise. God's promises. God's promises never fails. It is a bond, an indenture, a guarantee. Nigga, you are guaranteed. You have a God guaranteed covenant. See, that's why a lot of you feel like God is not with you. That's why I came to remind you that God is with you. The guarantee of the covenant, of the guaranteed covenant, of the guaranteed promise you have with God. Do you understand? The guaranteed covenant you have with God, when you feel like God is not with you, or when the storms of life make you feel like God is not with you, or when the devil or when anything make you feel down, or God is not with you, you have a guaranteed promise and a covenant with God in the name Emmanuel, that God has given you that name Emmanuel to call on and pray to, and so that his Holy Spirit will come and be with you. It is guaranteed. But there's nothing guaranteed in Jesus. That's why you've never had nothing. You've never had no teaching. You've never had nobody to break it down like this simply. This pastor say they teach you, but they just talk shit and just ask you for money. Nigga, I will break it down to you. Let me really teach you and show you and break this down to you. Understand? This is an undertaking, a commitment. You have a covenant with God. See, this is the time. This is where you see a covenant. A covenant. God could not make a covenant with Adam and Eve because Adam and Eve This was disobedient. When you were disobedient, God cannot keep his covenant to you. That is the will of God. The covenant of God is God's will. He's putting you in his will. His promise to you. That is the will of God for your life. Do you understand? So now we see the covenant. That God started a covenant with Noah. A descendant of Adam's generation. God is starting a covenant with Noah in Genesis chapter 9. Verse 1. You see right here, verse 1, then it said, then God blessed Noah and his sons, saying to them, be fruitful and increase and fill the earth. That is the first covenant. You will be fruitful. He blessed them. When he blesses you, he makes covenant with you. His covenants are his blessings. His promises are his blessings. When he promised you something, that means you are going to get blessed. Do you understand me? So let's keep going.
Everything that lives and moves about will be food for you. Just as I gave you the green plants, I now give you everything.
See, he said he gave them everything. Everything to be food. He gave all the creatures to be scared of him. Man, he was giving the man a covenant that you shall have dominion. You shall still have dominion because I find favor in you. You want God to find favor in your life. You want God to find favor in you like he found in Noah. Like he found in me. I'm his son, so you always have favor in me. But you want God to have favor.
But you must not eat meat that has its lifeblood still in it. And for your lifeblood, I will surely demand an accounting.
See, you see that? You see that? He said, I have given you everything to eat. See, everything, that was it. God said everything is edifying, but everything is not to the edification of the body, is not permissible. I can do everything, but everything I cannot do. That's why I said, I've given you everything. The plants and animals. I've given you dominion over them. And I've given them all to you for food. But you must not eat meat with the lifeblood in it. Understand? Those are laws. He blessed them. You see how God blessed them, but still gave them a law, an instruction, a commandment. Do not eat the lifeblood of animals in it, which is don't eat food with animals' blood still in it. You have to cook the food. The food has to be well cooked. A lot of people are not eating raw food. Food with fish's lifeblood. Animals' lifeblood in it. They blood still in it. They eat it. Call it raw or mild. Your food got to be well cooked. He said, and for your lifeblood, I will surely demand an accounting for it. You feel me? He said, for your lifeblood, right here. You see right here? For your lifeblood. If you go on YouTube, if you can't see what I'm talking about, Instagram, you have to go on YouTube and watch it. You feel me? For your lifeblood, I will demand an accounting for it. See, what that means is, for your lifeblood, for your life, the blood, to the physical sense, the blood is what gives it life, but it's the spirit that gives the flesh life. It's the life of the flesh, the blood. That's why when you run out of blood, you die. When you get shot, you bleed. That is a life. Your blood has life in it. That's what blood is really called. A life blood. It's the blood of life. Without blood, you have no life. That's the real name for blood. You just call it blood. Because people don't really understand what it really called. And that's in Genesis 5. Not Genesis 9, verse 5. Now let's keep going.
Will demand an accounting from every animal, and from each human being too. I will demand an accounting for the life of another human being.
See? You see what I'm saying? God said he would demand an account. You would have to call to an account. You have to be held accountable for the life of every human being you shed. That is the law that God gave Noah from the beginning of time. He killed everybody and started over. When he killed everybody, the man, you will be held accountable if you kill somebody. So these are the laws of God. Yeah, let's keep going.
Whoever sheds human blood, by humans shall their blood be shed. For in the image of God has God made mankind.
See? That's why I said, whoever sheds mankind's blood, you will also die. Your blood will be shed. That's why you have to say the old saying, you live by the gun, you die by the gun. You are made in the image of God. You should feel and love one another. But you can't because you've been corrupted. So that's why the Bible said, later on in the Bible, I'll show you the Bible when we get there, but it said that a farmer sowed a seed, a parable in the New Testament, a farmer sowed a seed, a garden, and when he went to sleep, the enemies came and sowed thorns. So when he came out there, he couldn't root it out because the thorns would root out the weeds. When he woke up a couple of days, he started seeing thorns and weeds growing. So he couldn't root out the thorns and the weeds together. So he let them grow a little bit more. So they get full grown. So that way he can untangle the thorns and pull them out and save the weeds. But Instagram, man, you gotta follow YouTube, man. All right, I gotta get back to my son, Deuces. Yeah. Come on, give me a second, y'all. Let me do this. Give me a second. Yeah, you have to uproot the thorn in the wheat. So that was how he uprooted the thorn in the wheat in the parable. So that's why I let y'all grow. People was like, why didn't I teach? See, even Tyke was like, bro, you should have been teaching, bro. But you know you could teach, but why you didn't teach a long time ago? Because I couldn't teach, bro. Feel me? I couldn't teach. Because the more I try to teach people about Jesus, that's why I didn't have a voice. You feel me? The more I try to teach people about Jesus, the more I try to teach people that Jesus is not the word of God. It's not the name of Christ. It is the name, well, the name of Christ. The false men of God were just too loud. They had, you feel me? They had their attention. The people believe this false man of God. You feel me? The people believe this false man of God. You feel me? And I go and root out the thorns from the weed. So I just let them grow a little bit more. I gave a little bit, and CC government. That's why I started predicting, so people understand prophecy. And started teaching people how to understand prophecy and how will prophecy work. And when I teach people about prophecy, about prophesying, and being in my prophetic ways, and when they get comfortable and used to my prophecies and used to me, then I could teach them the word. You feel me? And then I could uproot them because they had to grow a little bit more. Because they haven't grown yet. They had to grow a little bit more. So, like I said, it's time for everything. You always got to understand it's time for everything.
As for you, be fruitful and increase in number. Multiply on the earth and increase upon it. Then God said to Noah and to his sons with him, I now establish my covenant with you and with your descendants after you and with every living creature that was with you, the birds, the livestock, and all the wild animals, all those that came out of the ark with you, every living creature on earth. I establish my covenant with you.
See that? See that? God giving mankind a covenant. See, he wanted to do that with Adam and Eve, but he could not do that with Adam and Eve. You feel me? He wanted to do that with Adam and Eve, but he could not do it with Adam and Eve. He just couldn't. Why? Because of the simple fact that Adam disobeyed. You feel me? Adam and Eve disobeyed. You feel me? Adam and Eve disobeyed. And Cain killed Abel. So he could not. That's why God allowed that to happen to end Adam's first generation. Yeah. God allowed that to happen to end Adam's first generation, to end generation Adam, so he could recreate with Seth, because Seth was the third son of Eve. Seth was the third son of Eve. Seth was the third son of Eve. Yeah, Seth was the third son of Eve. And Noah came from Seth's descendants. Noah came from Seth's descendants. Noah came from Seth's descendant. Noah came from Seth's descendants. You feel me? So Noah came from Seth's descendant. And that's how God used Noah. So that's how God used Noah to save the world, to make a covenant in the world. Because his idea was to teach man. See, when he created Adam and Eve, his idea was to teach them first. You feel me? God's idea was to teach them first. So that was what he wanted to do. He wanted to teach them first. You feel me? He wanted to teach them first. But that didn't happen like that. You feel me? The Antichrist came in and sowed thorns. But he didn't want to serve mankind. It caused the fall of man. That's why you had the Bible, the fall of man. When man fell, God. See, bro, God was supposed to destroy Adam and Eve, but he didn't want to destroy Adam and Eve, his two creation, because he loves, you feel me? He loves mankind. You feel me? God did not want to destroy Adam and Eve because he loved mankind. But because he loved mankind, so that's why he said to Adam, like that's why he said, I will not destroy the earth no more because of mankind. And he loves mankind. He loves all this creation. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't want to destroy y'all, but that is like killing y'all is like teaching y'all. Like people be like, how is killing us teaching us? Because nigga, you didn't want to listen. So you die. Don't you understand? The wages of sin is death. The payment of sin for disobedience is death. That's why God told Adam and Eve in the body. Understand? Disobedience is death. That's why he kicked them out of the Garden of Eden. Because they disobeyed. You feel me? And that would start a death in the whole community. You feel me? Yeah, go to M3 Record Time Concourse right here. Click the link. It should be the first link in the bio. Feel me in my bio. Now let's go to the word. Okay. Now back to the word. What was that? Back to the word. Yeah. So that was God's making a covenant with mankind. He told Noah, verse 8, right here. Verse 8, right here. He told Noah. See, then God said to Noah and his sons, See? Let me make a different color so you see. You're able to see what I'm talking about. Okay. You see it, right? You see it, right? So you say, then God said, he said, then God said to Noah and to his sons with him. Verse 9. Now, I now establish my covenant with you and with your descendants after you, and with every living creature that was with you, the birds, the livestock, and all the wild animals, all those that came out of the ark with you, every living creature. See, that is God reestablishing his covenant with creation. He wiped creation out because of the disobedience of Adam and Eve, led to the birth of death, the death of Cain, which also led to the increase of sin. Do you understand? So sin increased, and there wasn't really no teacher right there. So there were teachers, but it was God teaching. And people didn't really understand the word of God like that, because they were still young. You know? See, that's why the Bible said there's a way that seems right to a man, but it leads to death. You feel me? Like they were still young in a sense of creation wise. You know? People may be grown and old, but in the sense of from the generation of Adam to the generation to the birth of Noah and the end of the world, that is still pretty, might have been a long time on earth. And a lot of generations probably went by. But you got to understand that the earth was still in its youth. No, and creation as a whole was still in its youth back then. Do you know what I'm saying? Like the earth was just newly born, it was just newly created. So people people had the laws of God that Adam and Eve passed down through the generation. Because it is Adam and Eve that is really Cain generation that really populated it, because it was Cain. You feel me? Cain came out of death because he killed Abel. Abel had kids too, but Cain killed Abel. So Cain was the only one left. You feel me? And Lamech killed Cain, then Seth was born. And Seth was the pure bloodline that could have a savior, which was Noah, to help save the earth and replenish the earth. Do you understand? And that's why it said in verse 11, right here, I establish my covenant with you. Never again will all life be destroyed by the waters of a flood. Never again will there be a flood to destroy them. See, you remember when we went back and it said God whelps. The God whelps. Yeah. See, they were a wicked generation. They were a wicked generation. I forgot, but if you go back to my video, we see what we talked about where God said something about he regret destroying the earth. You feel me? I should have highlighted, but man, I just put my highlight on now. So now we're good now, but I'll go back and find that. And on my next sermon, I'll bring it up for you, like what chapter it is on. But I don't want to take time finding it right now. But you see, so he makes an establishment, a covenant, establishes a covenant with Noah and all life form, the whole creation that he saved out of the ones he destroyed with the flood. You feel me? The animals, the livestock that Noah had with him in the ark, God made a covenant with them. He said, I'll establish my covenant with you. Never again will our life be destroyed by the waters of a flood. Never again will there be a flood to destroy the earth. Understand? No, listen to what it says. Listen to what it says.
Genesis 9.
Okay.
Then God blessed Noah and his sons, saying to them, be fruitful and increase in number and fill the earth. The fear and dread of you will fall on all the beasts of the earth and all the birds in the sky, on every creature that moves along the ground, and on all the fish in the sea. They are given into your hands.
See that way they're given to our hands, the fear and dread of us, of mankind. That's why the animals are scared of us. It is not that the animals can't kill us. The animals can overpower us. Real power. All we have is guns. Them niggas are outnumbered. Outnumber y'all. You feel me? But God is giving you dominion over them and giving them over to you for your dominion. So that's why, like, see, that's why I be telling people, like, why don't they have dominion on earth? Because you allow these things to have dominion over you. Let's keep going.
Everything that lives and moves about will be food for you. Just as I gave you the green plants, I now give you everything. But you must not eat meat that has its lifeblood still in it. And for your lifeblood, I will surely demand an accounting. I will demand an accounting from every animal, and from each human being too. I will demand an accounting for the life of another human being. Whoever sheds human blood, by humans shall their blood be shed. For in the image of God has God made mankind. As for you, be fruitful and increase in number. Multiply on the earth and increase upon it. Then God said to Noah and to his sons with him, I now establish my covenant.
See, bro, you always hear that be fruitful and multiply, right? Like, bro, you always hear be fruitful and multiply because God wants you to have sex, bro. Because that is how you multiply. You understand? Sex is not bad. That's why I say, like, the only way, man, the only way y'all feel like sex is bad is because of all the things that this false man of God have taught y'all about sex, man. Sex is not bad, bro. And all these population control, I don't know why people want to do population control, bro. Like, bro, you are not supposed to control population, bro. You were supposed to multiply, bro. You always said, bro. It said be multiply and increase upon it. Nigga, have dominion, be multiply and increase upon it. You feel me? Like, bro, that's why a lot of people be like, oh, this and that. Nah, sex is good. You're supposed to have sex, bro. You're supposed to mingle. You're supposed to do a lot of things, bro. It's just this false man of God just diminished it and demonized it and made it look so bad and made it look so bad because they were doing corrupt things because they were trying to create a holy as thou image. You feel me? And they were trying to create that holy as thou, but behind the scenes, that's why you hear all these scandals of all these pastors and all these people because they hold up that image, but behind the scenes, they're doing sexual shit, man. Sex is an experience. Sex is a bond. Sex is a connection between a man and a woman. You were supposed to explore. How else would you find your soulmate? Nigga, my soulmate is out there. Nigga, your soulmate is out there. How you gonna know who the fuck is your soulmate if you don't mingle? Nigga, you gonna have sex through the process. Nigga, you might end up with a baby with some people, and you might not have baby with some people. It's a fucking experience. Every fucking relationship is a fucking experience, something that you're supposed to experience and learn from to make you better and get you better for the woman of your dreams. And when that woman of your dream come or that man of your dream come into your life, and then that is the one you with. But they've done all this shit, demonized sex, and promoted homosexual agendas because all these popes and all these pastors are raping all these kids and they want to make these kids feel good. So they accept their homosexualism and they demonize sex and put sex down and talk about population control. No, your teachers are teaching you wrong. They're teaching your governors wrong. The Bible says, my people error because of this prophets. We're going to go there when we get to Jeremiah as we get deep. I will show you that. But I do want to put that on you because I want to say, hey, you. So that way you hear your pastors tell you all those lies and tell you that I'm lying until when I take them to the fucking Bible verse of my teaching and expose they lying fuck ass. That is life. Life is an experience. The purpose of life is to live and to learn, to make errors and learn correction and learn how to correct your errors. That's the whole purpose of being imperfect. That's why you are the perfect. You are perfect in the eyes of God. You are imperfect, but you are perfect. You are the perfect imperfection. Don't you understand? You, mankind, you are the perfect imperfection in the likeness of God. Nigga, God makes mistakes too. Because he made a mistake when he created man. Not knowing how sinful, he knew how sinful man could get because of what he loved. He wanted to create a wife for me so bad. See, I'm telling you man came because of my mama and my wife, Angel, bro. Mankind, the flesh existed. Because it was only two people, God, and we created a host of heaven. Man, we would have never created flesh. If my dad didn't have the fucking idea that he wanted me to goddamn me to leave the house and be on my own. But nigga, I want to stay in heaven with him and be his servant all day long. I like being a son. I like being a servant. I like him telling me things to do. But he wanted me to be like, oh, this and that. He wanted to bring me out of him and let me be born and let me do this and have this and have that. And he wanted me to have a wife and he wanted me to have children because he said he don't want me to be lonely. Because he said it's going to be a lonely life. Because I'm tired, I'm just me. He didn't want me to have kids himself and do it as long as it just be alone. So he created angels and he created people from me. And he created a woman from me so that way I could multiply and have children and have a companion. You know, so that's why he said in the beginning, it is not good for man to be alone. You feel me? Why it said in the beginning, it is not good for mankind to be alone. You feel me? It said it. When God created man, see, it's right here. And the Lord said, it is not good. Uh-huh. Yeah, right here. Well, yeah, right here. Verse 18. It said, God said that it is not good for man to be alone. Like, who you think is with God? God is man and woman. He gave birth. How did God have a son without a wife? Who is the wife of God? Does anybody know? Have you heard anything that God saying that he has a wife or the son of God has a mother? No. God is a man and with female attributes. He could give birth. He could do anything. Don't you understand? He's a man and woman in one. He's perfect. That's why he's perfect. He's always everything in one. He didn't want me to be like that. Because I know he knows to him it's lonely. It's lonely to be alone. But the only thing that keeps them together is because he is man and woman in one. You feel me? He's man and woman. He's two. That's why he could give birth. See, that's why this stupid ass scientist and these stupid ass people are so corrupt. See, that's why these people are so corrupt, because they always do the dumbest shit. They try to make man give babies. The man can't have babies. They try to have man have babies. All this intelligence that the world has, even in America, all this information, all this knowledge that they have acquired, what they do with their knowledge is stupidity. They do stupid and foolish shit with their knowledge. For real, they do. So you telling me you have all this tech and all this stuff, you cannot try to find a cure for cancer or something good. You want to find out how to impregnate a man. What sense does that fucking man. Or how to have a man have a child. See, they're making in the likeness of God, but not in a full like God like. He split it in two. He split me in two. His love for me was angel on my mom. To experience his love as a mother. His mother's side's point of view. Do you understand? God is one. He's a man and a woman put together. How you think he had a son? To have a son, you have to put the birth. And to put the birth, that is only female qualities. Only female species of all kind put the birth. Only female species. Male species cannot put the birth. Do you understand me? Only God is able to do that. That's why he didn't want that. He didn't want me to be lonely. But he split my other side in two, my female side. Because I'm like him. But I could give the birth too if I wanted to. Just like he gave birth to me. I could do it, but he gave me a woman for that. He created women for that. It is not a good thing for man to be alone. So that's why he created women, to be companion. So that's why a woman's desire is for a man, to please a man. Women are created to cater to the man, to take care of the man. That is the love of God to mankind. So that's why you have the old saying, it is a man's world. Dun 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 dun. You feel me? That's why you have the whole saying, the old song. It is a man's world. Because it was only two people in existence before they created everything. See, before when he gave birth to his son, he gave birth to his son to push him to push him into existence. Because his son was living inside of him. I was living inside of him. I was him inside him. So that's why I said in James, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. You feel me? John and James. That's why I said in John and James, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. You feel me? In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God. Because the Word was with God, inside of God. Then God gave birth and sent the Word into existence. See, only God existed. Time was God inside of God. Life. Time gave God life. Make God, right? So that's why time gives you life. Time gives you life. Time gives you life. You feel me? And you cannot exist until it's time for you to exist. You feel me? You cannot exist until it is time for you to exist. You feel me? Time gives you life. Time makes you exist. When it's time for you to be born, see, people think that you were born by mistake. Nothing is by mistake. Everything. That's why, see me in the book of Revelation says everything was written in the foundations before the foundation of the world. Everybody that enter the book of life, the kingdom of heaven, was written before the foundation of the world. But this is what it says right here in the beginning. Listen.
In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning.
Hold on.
All things were made.
Hold on. You don't understand. Let me highlight this. Real quick. But I'm finna give you a breakdown. In the beginning was the Word. I'm finna give you a breakdown, man. But we're finna teach you, bro. I'm finna teach you about this shit, man. Like, bro, y'all finna learn about this shit. Bro, I'm finna teach you about this shit. Like, real shit. Like, bro, you don't understand. Bro, I'm gonna teach you about this shit. Like, bro, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God. In Him was life. Do you understand? Lifetime. And time is life. Don't you understand? Nigga, time is life. You have time. You don't exist until your time. Everybody has an appointed time. That's why it said in the Ecclesiastes, there is a time for each and everything. Everything has an appointed time on the sun. Everybody that is to be born has an appointed time to be born. Everybody that dies, no matter how you die, that is how you were supposed to die. That was your appointed time to die. There is no wrong time. There is none of that. There is no die too young. If a baby was born today and died today, that was a lifespan that was set by God. Do you understand? That's why it's called a lifespan. Because the time, lifespan of time. In Him was everything created. Nigga, everything is created for time. And in time. Nigga, that's why you have a time to be born and a time to die. That's why it says in Ecclesiastes, you have a time. Bro, we'll go to Ecclesiastes also, but I want to just touch on it. But before I go on it, because I want to break some things down with this one. You feel me? Because I want to break some things down with this because people have been misguided.
In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God.
Okay. Now you see that. In the beginning was the Word, time. You call the Word time. Do you know why God's Word is also called time? Everything about God is time. But His Word also, because everything about God is time. Understand? He is Father time. Everything about Him is time. I make Him reign. Understand? I make Him exist. Time make Him exist. I give Him life. He gives me life. I give Him life. See, we're a double-edged sword. We help one another. See, we help one another, father and son. He's my father. He's my mother. He's everything. And I'm His son. You feel me? Time. His Word is time. Because when He speaks something, it endures for however long duration He wants it to endure. Do you understand? When he says, let there be light, there will be light until he says, let there be darkness. He knows how to manipulate time. Do you understand? Because of the simple fact that when he speaks, because of the simple fact that when he speaks, everything he says will reign, will happen. And for however long it appears or manifests or happens, the length, the duration that it takes for it to endure or sustain. See, listen what it says right here. Hold on. For it to endure and sustain. You see what it says right here? As long as the earth endures, seed time and harvest, cold and winter, and day and night will never cease. Time is the measurement of a span of life. Of the lifespan of anything that exists. Everything that exists has a lifespan. Whether created by God, created by man, created by whatever. Everything has a lifespan. But nobody knows the end of the lifespan, how the end will come. And nobody knows the beginning. You just experience from the time you exist, you start to exist, to the time you stop to exist. Time is the measurement of that duration. From the beginning, that begins when you begin to exist, when you were born in existence, to when you were deceased, the dead, the end of existence. Time is how you measure lifespan. Everything has a lifespan. Even computers. Computers can only last so long, and then you need a new one, upgrade. Cars. How long can a car last? A car you can only drive a car for so many miles. The most y'all could drive a car, now the most miles y'all could drive a car for is 300 miles, because Hondas and Toyotas are the only ones that go up to 300 miles. Everything else doesn't even reach 300. Probably 200 miles, 200,000 miles, 300,000 miles. On the Toyota, those Chinese cars, they're reaching 300,000 miles. That's the most y'all have, miles you could have in a car before you need a new transmission. Everything has a lifespan. That's why you were also created like your father. You can't create as deeply scientifically as God, but you could create on a physical level. And even the physical level has its own limitedness. It's also unlimited through the power and effects of God. You feel me? Only true God. But the physical cannot turn on God. Let's keep going.
Covenant with you and with your descendants after you, and with every living creature that was with you, the birds, the livestock, and all the wild animals, all those that came out of the ark with you, every living creature on earth. I establish my covenant with you. Never again will all life be destroyed by the waters of a flood. Never again will there be a flood to destroy the earth. And God said, this is the sign of the covenant I am making between me and you and every living creature with you, a covenant for all generations to come.
Yeah.
I have set my rainbow in the clouds, and it will be the sign of the covenant between.
Hold on. Hey, you see that? It said, hold on, let me. Man, you ready? All right. Hey, y'all, I'm gonna come back, man. We at verse 12. We're gonna go to verse 12. All right, I'm gonna come back. So tune in later, man. We're gonna come back. I'll let y'all. Love y'all. One. And God be with you, Emmanuel.